talk about how to calculate factorial of any given number. Okay, we will using C language to calculate this. Okay, so firstly I would like to tell all of you about what is factorial. So let's we talk about factorial of 5. If we have to calculate factorial of 5, and factorial of 5 is equal to 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 till up to 1. So this is factorial of 5, and if we calculate factorial of 5, this will come up to 120. Okay, so in this way we can calculate factorial of any given number. For example, we have to calculate factorial of 3, so we have to calculate like this: 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1 till up to 1. Okay, so this is factorial of 3. Now this will come up to 6. Okay, so in this way we can calculate factorial of any given number. But to calculate factorial using C language, we have to write code and the algorithm for which our code will work, and we will get factorial. Okay, so let me put comment in this that we are going to make a factorial. Okay, program to calculate the factorial of a given number. Okay, so I'm going to put the boiler code. Okay, hashtag include standard input and output dot l. This is header file. This is basic syntax of C language which I am doing right now, and we have to make we have to first print something that will show to user that enter a number. Okay, now put backslash n to get into a new line, and to take the input we have to make scanf. So we are using integer type specifier. Okay, because we have to calculate the factorial of any integer number. Okay, so to give any input we have to give address of any integer type variable. So we had not initialize any integer variable. So first let me initialize it int, and this is integer type variable whose name is n. Okay, and this will store the input in the address of n, whatever the input will user give. Okay, and this will print because we have to show the user to give input. Okay, after this we have to use any loop like for loop or while loop. I am using for loop. Okay, so first thing we have to keep in mind that we have to calculate the factorial, and the method of calculating the factorial is like we have to calculate the factorial of 5. So we have to multiply all the numbers which is less than 5 until up to 1. Okay, for example 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, so in this for loop we have to take any integer I which is equal to n will given by the user. Okay, and the condition for which this loop will work is I am putting that I should be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, because till up to 1 we have to multiply from and till up to 1. Okay, not 0, because if we multiply by 0 then number will be 0. Okay, that does not mean anything. And I'm putting I minus minus. Okay, okay friends, and in the code I will write sum. Okay, let me take one more integer type variable which name is sum, and sum is equal to 1. Okay, I'm taking sum is equal to 1. You will get why I'm taking sum is equal to 1. Okay, let me take sum is equal to sum multiply by I. After this I will explain the whole program so you will better understand. Okay, now after that I will print factorial of percentage d is percentage d. I am using 2 times percentage d because I want to print here the value of n which user will input, and the factorial is int type, therefore I am using percentage d specifier. Okay, and at this place I want to print the value of n, so I am writing here n. Then after that here I want to print the factorial. Okay, I have written sum, so it does not mean that I am calculating sum. Okay, it is only names, so you guys will not confuse, I think. So it is better to take this name fact. Okay, fact means factorial, so I have to change here also and here also. Okay, now you guys will don't be confused. Okay, after this I am writing here fact because I want to print factorial here. Okay, so at last we have to return value 0. Okay, because it is integer type main function. So let me check once it is right or wrong. So we had calculated earlier, we have calculated the factorial of 5 which will 120. Okay, now we are writing 5 here and the factorial of 5 is 120. It is correct. Okay, so let me explain this once again. So first of all, we had created an integer type variable whose name is n and other is fact, and fact value is 1. Okay, so after that print, this will print enter a number to show the user to print give any input. Okay, after that we are using scanf. Okay, scanf is used to take input, and the input is integer type, and we are storing in integer type variable whose name is n, and we are giving address of n here to get store the value of n. Okay, and after that we are using for loop, and here for loop, in for loop we are creating integer whose name is I, and I is equal to n. Okay, and after that we are putting a condition that I should be equal to or greater than 1 but not smaller than 1, because if it is smaller than 1 it means 0, and if we multiply fact is equal to fact into 0, then it will come up to 0, which does not mean anything. Okay, which will give the wrong answer. And after that we are decrementing I. Okay, so first of all, if we assign I is equal to n, then it will take this. Okay, firstly it will run this. So fact is equal to 1, we had taken fact is equal to 1, so if fact is equal to 1, then fact is equal to fact 1 into I, and initially I was I is equal to n. Okay, then after that, if fact is equal to n, because fact is 1 and I is n. Okay, then after second iteration, I is get decremented by 1. Okay, so let's suppose if we taken n is equal to 5, then after that, in second loop, in second iteration, I will become 4, and this fact will earlier fact was 5 after the first loop, and that means 5 multiplied by 4. Like this in third loop, it will become 5 multiplied by 4 means 20. It will become 20, and 20 multiplied by 3. Like this it will run up to I is equal to 1, not I is equal to 0, because it will become 0 which does not give any factorial of any number. Okay, and after that, at last, if loops is completed till this condition, we will print the value of factorial. Okay, so I am here I write that the factorial of percentage d. I am using integer type specifier to print the value of n here, because it will be look better. Like the factorial of percentage d means the number which user was given, and is factorial, the factorial of percentage d, which I suppose 5. The factorial of 5 is percentage d means fact. Value of fact will be print here, and the fact will be 120 if we taken the factorial of 5. Let's run once again. It is showing some error. Earlier it was not showing, but now it is showing. Okay, so take a look again. The factorial start. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think there should not be any problem, but it is showing, so let me check once again. Okay, this is correct, this is correct. Okay, this should be correct, but why, I don't know. Now it is working. So there was a software issue only, not in the code. So once check for 5 again, that the factorial of 5 is 120, and again enter a number. Factorial of 3, as we all know, that factorial of 3 will be 3 into 2 into 1. That means 3 into 2 is 6, and 6 into 1, that is 6 only. So factorial of 3 will have to come up to 6 as answer. Okay, so the factorial of 3 is 6. So here it is our code for calculating the factorial. I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Oh, thank you guys very much.